let's go ahead and jump in, and we're gonna talk about this fucking debate that happened between Sargon of Akkad and Vaush. So
I'm
anyway, it
totally
was
fine with
debate,
that.
right? And let me click to about 57 minutes in here. I'm not gonna really play it too much, but it was a 4 hour fucking debate, you guys. Like seriously. And to be honest with you, it was a little bit boring. I thought it's like Sargon, who's a fucking idiot, and Voss, Voss was mostly right in the things he said, but the way he speaks to me is not like he would speak to the everyman, and so it doesn't really appeal to me in the way that just common language would. So a little bit boring to me. So we're gonna talk about who won and who lost, and so it depends on what you mean by winning and losing, in my opinion. I wish that debating online were just about the facts, right? That'd be great. About substance, If you put out the truth and what you're saying is backed up by the evidence, and then you would destroy your opponent by being more truthful than he is, that would be nice. But unfortunately, that's not the way it fucking works on the internet. I've talked about this a lot, and the merit of actually debating like this in the first place, if there is much merit to it, I am skeptical by how much merit it actually has in debating in this format. Because what seems to be the most important thing in these types of debates is optics. Optics are much more important than substance. So, in my opinion, if you're just like looking on paper, if there were like a text transcript of this debate and you cut out all the over talking each other, all the insults, and you just like laid out the cases both people made, Voss won hands down. There's no doubt about that, really, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, that's not really the way it fucking works. It's about optics and who can go on to claim they won, and about the perception of, the majority of people, what they thought. And so I watched the debate, and then that fucking cat is so goddamn cute. I get distracted. I'm sorry. I got this little cute ass kitten playing with a little ball up here. So I read all the comments. I read like fucking thousands of comments. I went on Twitter, and you just search for the word Sargon, and search for the word Vaush, and sort about latest, and you can just read about what everybody thought about it. And sure, a lot of people thought Vaush won. A lot of people thought Sargon won. But the optics seem to be that Vaush didn't really debate as well as he could have. A lot of people were disappointed in him. And so immediately what happened was Sargon basically went out and claimed victory. I'll show you that in a minute. And then all the right went out and claimed victory. So from an optics standpoint, regardless of the fact that Vaush won on the substance of the issues, he talked over Sargon a lot. He was much more combative, much more loud. You could even see it probably on here. People were literally saying, mute him. And in his defense, I don't know why he agreed to do this, but he agreed to do this with the moderators who have a channel that appear to be kind of an anti-SJW channel. It was much more geared towards Sargon's audience. So it's, goes without saying, the audience in the live debate probably would be slanted more towards Sargon. But still, if you read the chat, most of the chat wasn't really on Vaush's side for the most part of it. They're like, sit down, Vaush, shut up, Vaush, you're over-talking him. And he kind of was. Like, he was over-talking him, being loud. And Sargon was just kind of calm, laid back. And the optics of that are actually much better. And I've actually had my problems with debating like this before. I've actually learned a valuable lesson. Like, back when I debated Bering and what the fuck is that guy? Andy Race-Worski and Skullduggery 3-on-1. I kind of made the same mistakes Vaush did. It's something you kind of have to learn, basically. You have to stay fucking really calm. You have to be really cognizant of the optics of what you're doing. And in that debate, I actually, if you go back and look at it, I think I won pretty handily, but I was really pissed off during the debate because they basically ambushed me. I didn't realize I was going into a debate. And so when I got in there, they basically told me, hey, come do this chat with us. It's going to be a friendly chat. Make sure you're good and stoned because it's going to be like laid back and friendly. And we're all just going to chat nicely. I wasn't even sure it was going to be recorded. And then I got in there and I was like attacked 3-on-1 in this debate. And I was like pissed off because I wasn't prepared or anything. And I learned my lesson that you have to be really calm because if you're not calm, if you're not real laid back during debates, if you don't like exude confidence, calm confidence, then it's used against you. The optics are bad. And I think that's kind of what Vaush suffered through, and I'm sure he'll learn from this. I actually did learn from that experience, and like when I debated the Drunken Peasants a couple weeks later, 3-on-1, I used that failure from the previous debate to be much better in the debate against the Drunken Peasants, where we debated, Trump. And in my opinion, I fucking destroyed them. But here's the thing, and it's a similar thing that I saw in this. After all the comments I read, I did not read a single fucking comment from anybody that said, hey, I was a Sargon fan, but after listening to this debate with Vaush, he changed my mind. I didn't see the same thing, the opposite of that either, with people who were saying, hey, I was a fan of Vaush and Sargon changed my mind. It doesn't seem like anybody's mind was changed by this, which is the problem with these kind of debates, right? It just seems like, for the most part, it was them talking past each other, them arguing about definitions of words, dick measuring contest, and little was really accomplished, as far as I could tell. And, that's in my opinion, the problem with these debates. So you have to be really careful because, in my opinion, Sargon was kind of much more irrelevant after the whole UKIP fiasco. And this seems to have breathed new life into his cells. And I'll show you here. First off, we'll go to the... these are people who were kind of on Vaush's side, who would normally be on Vaush's side anyway. This is Destiny's subreddit forum. And, most of these fans of Destiny's also like Vaush. There's a lot of crossover between their two audiences. But a lot of them were really disappointed in his performance, like the very first comment with the most upvotes. I'm going to be honest. I love Vaush, but I'm disappointed. I don't think he was wrong on his points. He just could have presented them better. And, wow, that was a shit show. I've been watching a lot more Vaush lately and enjoying it, but this was a shit show with pretty bad optics. I don't get how these happens with Sargon. He is a crap debater and only looks good when the other guy shits the bed. But that happens with about half his debates. And Vaush needs to get those optics problems fixed. At least he's very aware of how terrible they were. He was talking about it on stream right after, and he commented on this. But that's what a lot of people were saying. The optics look bad, I detest, abhor, and despise Sargon, but this sort of was bad optics. Vaush isn't wrong on the substance. Sargon opposes literally a Bernie Sanders-esque platform. He's against all the center progressive policies, increased minimum wage, Medicare for all, and only wants to help poor people with anti-immigration policies. Bullshit! The dude supports Trump and still thinks he's an anti-establishment. If Vaush could have turned it down a few notches, it would have been easier to look past the bad optics for most people and kind of prove Sargon to be a far-right reactionary he actually is. And that was kind of my opinion on the whole thing, too. I think he gave Sargon kind of a win that it would have been easy not to give him, how he'd remain more calm and just let Sargon talk, let Sargon kind of bury himself. And so Sargon immediately, of course, went out and he made bragging videos like this one, where he was saying sympathy for Vaush has 81,000 views, where he basically was saying that he... in so many words, claiming that he crushed Vaush and that Vaush was too emotional and loud, and he kind of felt sorry for him. This is concern trolling. He didn't feel sorry for Vaush. He's just basically being a dickhead and making fun of him and gloating, right? That's exactly what's happened here. And like one thing you'll notice, like when Sargon debated Christy Winters, say what you want about Christy Winters, but she crushed Sargon. He definitely wasn't going on stream talking about how he felt sympathy for her. He felt like he had a victory. They definitely weren't running victory laps. It didn't give him a win. He was pretty clear that she whooped him, and he did. She did, right? Just like when he debated Richard Carrier. Richard Carrier whooped him, and he didn't go out, bragging about how he won. So basically, this gave him an unnecessary win, in my opinion. And kind of, like I said, breathed life into his cells he became, he's become more and more irrelevant. And this kind of made him more relevant because now they can go around and brag that he has this debate win, even though he really didn't. But optically, you can claim he had a debate win against this big name leftist, which is exactly what they're doing. You can look at, here's JF Garape, white nationalist shithead JF Garape made a stream bragging about how Sargon won. And this was, a lot of the right was going around claiming exactly the same thing. So who are the winners and who are the losers in this? Well, optically, I would have to say if you're talking about winners and losers based on substance, it would be Vaush, of course. But since that doesn't really matter in these kind of stupid online debates, optically, if you want to talk about who will be benefited more by this debate, it will be Sargon, in my opinion. I think he will get a bigger boost from this. He will become more popular from this, which is sad because that's the last thing we should be letting these right-wing douchebags have is more success. Smaller winner in this is Vaush. Vaush will also come out ahead in this. You know, his numbers will be bumped up. He did have a lot of people that thought he won, and Vaush is actually a really good speaker. You know, he even though he didn't represent himself really well with being so over the top and angry and loud and over talking people, he speaks very well. And he doesn't like stutter or shit all over himself as far as that goes. So I think he'll come out okay on this. The big losers were anybody that spent 4 hours watching this shit. And also all the people that will be harmed because of this. Sargon would be more popular, and more of his right-wing shithead talking points will spread because of this. So the people hurt by making Sargon more popular are the real losers in this. Which is why you have to be really careful when you debate these type of people. Like, there's a lot of people who question whether we should even be fucking bothering with these people at all. You know, what is the point in this? What is the point of giving a platform like this to even, give them the opportunity to do well? In my opinion, there's better ways to defeat right-wing shitheads than these pointless dick measuring contest debates where really nothing is settled. Hey guys, Dusty Smith here, and this is CC, one of our rescues at the Humanist Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary. If you enjoy my videos, please consider supporting us. We do a lot of good work here. Even $1 or $2 a month helps, and it's really appreciated. Thanks, guys. Mwah.